My China study tour experiences overall consisted of me being perpetually gobsmacked with both the culture and the education system, feeling extremely lucky to have had the opportunity to go on this trip, while also not only learning to value my own Australian culture, but as well as learning to accept and understand the Chinese culture. I believe this course has really broadened my intercultural understanding, as I was given the opportunity to experience the differences between our cultures and to accept these differences without prejudice, even the aspects that were particularly hard to accept, such as the squat toilets. It only challenged me to think and act while adopting a global perspective. I have also been given a great opportunity to value the everyday aspects of Australian life that I would normally take for granted. One of the major parts of this trip that I am especially grateful for is having been given the opportunity to experience not only teaching in Chinese schools, but to have been able to teach in a primary school setting. I believe this experience will help me in my future teaching as a high school teacher in understanding the younger students and being able to connect with them better. And English lessons while in China was the emphasis of being able to have a conversation in English by using the creative arts to help along the learning process. It was definitely useful for the younger year groups and the public schools in assisting any language barriers, as we use the arts such as music, dance, and various facets of art. The lesson I was able to teach while in China, I was really blown away with how talented some of the students were with their art, and also shocked at how surprised they were to be able to be doing a creative activity in their English class, normally heavily rote learning and repetition. In terms of the creative arts outside the Chinese classroom, China has a very rich and long history of using the arts in their entertainment, in telling stories, and even in recorded accounts and their language. We had the opportunity to take part in some Chinese art and calligraphy classes, where we learnt a little bit about how the Chinese characters had come to be and how they have evolved from a picture that used to tell a story. Each character has come from an original picture, which would not only represent a word or meaning, but also look like what the word or phrase meant. It was amazing to experience something that has gone back so far in history compared to that of Australia. A component of Chinese culture that I really enjoyed was watching the acrobats. They were so amazing, and you could really tell that they had all been practicing from a very young age, as acrobat school is extremely big in China. A very big part of Chinese culture and art is their Chinese opera, as it is very unique in the way it tells stories and uses various colouring and costumes to distinguish between the good and evil characters. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see an opera performance while we were there. However, we did get to see many historical costumes and masks that were used in the opera that were displayed in the museum. I believe my experiences of creative arts in China and the infusion of them into the classroom will benefit both my intercultural understanding and global perspective, along with my future teaching.